Good morning. It's actually dark out. I'm just getting all of the lights on this morning. Well, good morning. It's 5:55. I've been up since 5. It's a Saturday morning. I've just been having a really slow morning. Are you somebody who, when you start getting out your things in the morning, you leave cabinet doors open? I will not even realize that I am leaving a cabinet door open until like right now. I'm filming and I'm like, oh, I never closed that. I'm just getting my supplements ready. I've still got my Invisalign in. I've got bedhead. I probably need to wipe down my eyes, but I wanted to say good morning, and I've just turned on all my lights. It's actually dark out this morning, which is amazing. And today my husband and I are going to be traveling to Talkeetna to collect some birch rounds for her wedding. So I thought that I would take you along and show you some of my morning routine, like what I take for supplements right now. This is the most important way to start the day, and I just use this. Here are some of the supplements I'm taking. This is Vital Nutrients. They're regular bovine collagen. I take 20 grams, so 1 scoop of this. And then I take this Vital Nutrients Professional, and I do 2 tablespoons of this one. And then this is creatine, and I dissolve it in this. And then what I do is I bring it over to my coffee. Actually, normally, honestly, I just keep it in the sink. Let me get rid of this sponge. I always keep my sponge right here. But I keep it here in the sink, and once my coffee is done, I will turn this on to cold, and I chug this. I cannot stand the taste of collagen, or even, oh look I never even closed that drawer. You know what? I just got out a coffee mug. I always do that. I cannot stand the taste of collagen or the smell, so I like internally plug my nose, I chug that collagen, and then I chase it immediately with coffee, and that's how I get my collagen down. So I'm taking a probiotic, and I've got this vitamin. These are vitamins and probiotics that the dietitian I was working with before my cancer diagnosis. I still am working with her. We're just on pause, but these were some of the supplements, and this was the big one she really wanted me to get on, was the vitamin D with K2. I was originally just taking like the Kirkland vitamin D, but she wanted me to get this one with K2. And then I also was taking just this regular Nature's Bounty probiotic, but she wanted me trying this one here. I've got to look more into the details of this one. And then I am taking Veoza, and this is the first FDA-approved medication for hot flashes, although I really don't know how well it works. Last night, for example, I had a ton of night sweats. I was up most of the night with it. I was so hot. So I don't really know how well this works. I think I might try to experiment with it later on. But anyway, that is also what I take. I take this in the morning. I take my cancer treatment medication at nighttime. So I take anastrozole at night, and then I take the Vioza in the morning. And like I said, I don't know how much it helps, but then in the evening I take an allergy medicine. I've been trying to wean myself off of allergy medicines, and then I do take calcium citrate in the evening time. I take 2 of these, and it's 500 milligrams of calcium. It's going to be time for me to redo this bay window. Normally these lights, these trees right here, light up just like that tree right there. But since we've had 24 hours of daylight in the summertime, I don't light these. I just have them up here for decoration. But now that it's getting darker, it's going to be time to light them. One of my routines is I like to clean as I go. I try to be disciplined. I'm not always this way every morning, but most mornings I try to be this way, where I get the kitchen all cleaned up from the coffee making in the morning, my son making coffee, my daughter who is about to leave the nest in 1 week. 1 week from today she gets married. Once everyone's had their coffee, my children take care of their own dishes, but I will always rinse down the coffee pot, and I feel like that helps cut down on the smell. You know, sometimes coffee pots can give off that like bitter coffee smell, so I try to rinse it out and wipe it down, but I like to clean as I go, do the supplements and the coffee mugs and cups before I move on to the next thing. And I've also been trying to have breakfast sooner in the morning to try to help with my metabolism. I've been playing around with the hemp protein, which you see off to the left. The dietitian that I'm working with, she suggested hemp protein as a great source of nutrients and a superfood. And I've been mixing that with the plant protein, the Orgain plant protein. They do have a whey one. But when I had my blood work done to see all the foods that inflamed me, it was pretty much everything I was eating. And once I'm done radiation, maybe toward the end of December or early January, I am going to do a food elimination diet. And it's dairy, it's pretty much every grain, a ton of fruits and vegetables. So she was giving me options for good, densely nutrient type foods, and hemp protein was one of them. I've been mixing it with this Orgain, and I do find that I need to add a little water to this. And I've now been adding, you'll see me just add 1 teaspoon of chia seeds. I now do 2, it's great fiber, and I love chia. And this morning when I made the smoothie, I had strawberries, but I do prefer the blueberries or blackberries or raspberries. I like those flavors better. And if you're trying to watch your blood sugar, any of the berries are low on the glycemic index, which is wonderful. But this has been tasty. So I'm trying to add the fiber in there, getting the protein, and starting my day off healthy. So I'll either do a smoothie like this or an omelet. But this is easy and yummy when I'm in a pinch. And I'm working on my done list, and I talk about that in my last vlog. And I'm reading Corinne Cunningham's book. Working on my daily accomplishments, or what Pernilla from Mind on Mind called the done list, has been something that I have latched onto, and it's really been such a blessing. It's helped me quell the worry and the anxiety and the overwhelm, and then also the worry that I'm not doing enough. And it's allowing me to focus on the positive and to give myself grace as I navigate through cancer diagnosis, surgery, recovery, and then radiation here at the end of October. And I have paired working on the done list with a 30-day project journal prompt that I learned from the Mel Robbins coaching program. If you ever find yourself wanting to make improvements in a particular area, but you're struggling to commit to it or to make improvements, try this 30-day project and then use those 3 journal prompts and write them out daily. What is my project? Why is it important to me? And what will I do today? I have found tremendous success in it. Morning, just a pet. Good morning. I love you, Mika. I love you, Mama. Good morning, Mama. Just a pets. Just a pets. Good girl. Good girl. I'm going to clean your cage now. We try to give our chinchillas a minimum of 1 hour of out-of-cage playtime daily. Sometimes if I've got a lot to do, I'll just sit in this enclosure and keep them out for a couple of hours. It's a great way to interact with them. They'll come climb on me, sniff on me. You see here Mika looking adorable. She has access to her water, her food. Mama loves to be able to get in and out of her cage and make sure everything's good. But we love sitting out with our chinchillas, and they're very sweet. Look at Mama. Isn't she gorgeous? Well, as you can see, it is the next day. As yesterday unfolded, my husband and I both decided that we were going to stay home and work on a whole bunch of house projects that we both needed to get done. My husband had a lot of garage work he needed to do, and I had some bigger house projects, and we decided that we would feel better getting those accomplished that day and then saving this trip for the day after, and that's what we did. I am starting off this morning before we head out at the hair salon. It is my hair appointment 1 week before the wedding. Then after this appointment, I'm going to go home, wash my hair, and then we're going to get ready to head out. I took a few moments to take some video of the Chugach Mountains from the west side of the city where I'm located. I thought they were looking very beautiful this morning. We are on the road and it's about 11:30. We are trying to decide exactly when we want to eat. We both were thinking that we were starting to feel like we might be ready to have lunch. We are going through a city called Wasilla, and that's about 45 minutes north of Anchorage, so we could be ready to eat lunch by the time we get there, or we were thinking we might want to eat at a wonderful lodge called Sheep Creek Lodge. It's in Willow, and it is a hot spot year-round. They rent cabins year-round. A lot of people who want to go out snow machining or any type of outdoor activity. A lot of people like to travel out there. My daughter has gone out there to stay at their cabins if she wants to view the northern lights. But the food there is always delicious. So we were debating between getting food sooner or waiting until we got to this lodge, which was about a 2-hour drive. So we weren't sure how much we wanted to hold off on our hunger, but that is what we ended up doing, and we were just fine. It worked out perfect. The clouds put on a beautiful show for us on this trip. It was just so moody looking in certain areas. It did rain on us off and on, but the clouds were looking exceptionally beautiful. Later on, I'm going to put in a picture of Mount McKinley, which is the tallest mountain in North America. Now, sometimes if you're lucky on the trip out to Talkeetna, if the conditions are just right, the mountain will be out in its full glory. Unfortunately, today was one of those days where it was just too cloudy. We couldn't see it. But when it is out, it is quite a sight to see. And here is that lodge. It's this beautiful log building, very Alaskan in its decor, and the food is always exceptional. And as we head inside, I was very fortunate that it was quiet for a little bit of time here where I could just freely record around. Once I was done recording and we were sitting down eating our lunch, it got really busy inside of there. So we got there at the perfect time, and I loved this table right here. I'd love to have one for my house. Isn't that cool? But yeah, it's very warm and cozy in here. They've got a lot of space. They've got a lot of indoor-outdoor space. You see it's very rustic in its decor. There are a lot of fun things to see on the walls and on shelves, and it's very nicely decorated. I loved the tablecloths, and I'm making my husband pose. And now we're gonna order some food. I ended up getting a Reuben sandwich with onion rings, and my husband got this meaty, cheesy omelet with biscuits and gravy. And while we're waiting for that food to come out, the restaurant's still pretty quiet. There's a few people that have come in, so I'm just quietly filming over in this area. A quick little toilet selfie. And here is our delicious food. That's my husband's food, and it looked quite savory. And the Reuben sandwich was delicious. And the onion rings, I've just been into onion rings lately. It was a very delicious meal. And now we're going to get ready to head over to our friends. Well, hey there, we are officially at our friend's house now. They have a wood pile that they've allowed us to come and scavenge the birch tree stumps that we need. And in fact, I'll be putting together a video later on where we were on our friend's property because we decorated for their daughter's wedding back in April of this year of 2025. And we built a wooden like birch canopy that we draped lights and fabric on. I'll put a picture in here. And that canopy we're going to be using for my daughter's wedding. But we came onto our friend's property and harvested trees from their property to make that canopy for their daughter. And now we get to use it for our daughter. I'm not able to help my husband today because I am still healing from surgery. So I can't be doing any lifting or moving around of the tree stumps and all that, but it was really nice just to hang out together and have a wonderful drive out. We talked about all kinds of things, life, and just all the different things we have going on, so it was really wonderful. When we were coming out here to harvest the tree trunks for the canopy that we made for our friend's wedding, there was one day where Mount McKinley was out and it was absolutely beautiful, but you don't always get to see it, and I'll show a picture. I'll put a picture in here of it. All the colors of early autumn. It's actually turning out to be a nicer afternoon. It was starting to sprinkle by the time that we left the lodge, but the sun is peeking out. I can see a little bit of blue sky, and I am walking off that meal. I'm still like kind of working on my glucose hacks and trying to move around more. I am week 7 now post-op from my breast cancer surgery, and I've not done a whole lot of movement, but here comes a car. Yeah, I feel like I'm a little out of shape. I've actually started walking on my treadmill finally I started walking on my treadmill finally this week, and I am looking forward to building my stamina, but I have definitely lost it over these 7 weeks while I've been recovering, but I know that it will come back quickly. Yeah, there's a lot of little homes just tucked in on all these streets. The more that you get into remote Alaska, Yeah, it's just a different way of living out here. I was out and about for a walk. Oh my gosh, I see rabbits everywhere now. I was out trying to film these rabbits, but they're definitely, I think they're probably used to our friends and not to strangers, but there are rabbits everywhere on this property. But it was raining. I had to run here so I didn't ruin the phone, and now the sun is out and it seems like it stopped raining. I think it's one of those days, but my husband is just about done. I'm gonna go, look at him back there, I'm gonna go record what he's got in the back of the truck. Yeah, I think my husband definitely got his workout in after that lunch that we ate. And as I'm doing this recording right now, it is the day after, and my husband spent the day today cutting down all those logs into all of the different sizes that we're going to need. They will be lining the aisle leading up to the altar, and they'll be tiered, so different heights with candles and pine boughs, and it's going to be just beautiful. And look at how gorgeous the clouds were. It was a beautiful cloud day today. I love clouds. I don't tire looking at the mountains. I don't tire ever looking at the clouds. There's always something to see. There's always, I like to call them visual treasures. And I'm always like, look at that. Isn't that pretty? I don't know how my family feels about it, but I get excited about it. And I love to share it here on my YouTube channel. We are back in the city of Wasilla, and this is one of my favorite areas to view the Chugach Mountains. It's just such a pretty area. It's in a valley, and we call this area where the cities of Wasilla and Palmer are, we call that the valley. So if you're in Anchorage and you're heading out to one of those areas, people say, I'm going to go out to the valley today. And then it's either you're going to Palmer or Wasilla. And I love this particular view as we're approaching this little tiny hill. And look at how gorgeous the mountains look. And I love a gorgeous, moody mountain view. So I asked my husband if he wouldn't mind pulling over so I could get out and just kind of do a panoramic view of this particular area. While I was recording this area, I could hear the sound of a train engine. And when I got in the car, I was like, honey, I hear the train. We eventually get onto the highway, and sure enough, we could see a train on the railroad tracks away from the highway, but it does get near the highway at certain points. So we drove as fast as we could, took this pull-off area, parked where we could get to the tracks. And I can't run because of my back. I've got a lot of back problems, and I am trying to get to this train as quickly as I can. But I have absolutely fallen in love with Trainspotting, and this was a perfect way to end the day.